bringing us the brand new 3-piece Acacia wood measuring spoon
That's
set.
right, David.
These are gorgeous, my dear, and I've seen these before on your Insta stories.
Because I use them all the time, and I design them. These are nowhere else in the world, by the way. I design them because of the problem in my household, and it turns out I'm not the only one that has the problem. First of all, let me just tell you that you have a tablespoon and a teaspoon, and then you have a half a teaspoon and a quarter teaspoon, and then you have a cup. But the cup is marked half cup and full cup, and it's marked on the inside. Now, why did I want this? Well, for one thing, I saw, I travel all over the world.
Sure.
And I saw wooden measuring spoons, and I thought, you know what? I'm this person in my house. I opened my drawer, and these have broken off. And there I'm like, where's the quarter teaspoon?
Right.
Where's the half teaspoon? Why can't I just have it here in my crock along with my spurtles? And so what I did is I literally pulled this whole thing right off my counter where I cook, which you can see when I'm cooking there. So then I can just go in and I can pull this, and then the other beautiful thing is they lay flat. So if you're somebody that keeps your tools in a drawer, then they lay flat beautifully. But to give you an idea of how I rock this, I'm gonna show you. I pull out my bowl, I'm kind of in a hurry. Oh, I'm gonna make pancakes. All right, so I go right back in here into my crock. I can either get the other one and just level it, right? And then I can just stick it in here. So I have that, right? And then I take my teaspoon. Oh, I want some salt. Okay, no problem. Just grab a little salt, and you can see how easy it is to just grab the salt. Another benefit of this, baking powder. I'm making pancakes. How many times can you not get these things into these little jars, right? And I can level this off, put this in. Then maybe, let's see, I think I'll have a little bit of nutmeg. Just take a tiny little bit. I can still go into that tiny little jar.
Or just use your smaller one.
Oh, I could use my smaller one, but if I want to just use one tool, because you know how we are, David, one tool does multiple things. And if I don't even want to go and get another tool, I can just stir. And I've got all my dry ingredients stirred up.
400 sets are now gone. I want you to see what you're getting exactly. Look on the table here in front of us. You're going to get your full cup and half cup measure. This is your half teaspoon and quarter teaspoon. And this is your 1 teaspoon and 1 tablespoon measure. 500 of these are now gone. You should know that acacia wood is a natural wood. No two of these tools will ever look exactly alike. I always say that when you have a natural wood tool like this, nature puts its handprint on each one.
Exactly.
So that way, no two will be exactly alike in terms of their finish, their striation. What you're going to love is something really fantastic and special.
And they're so beautiful. So, and this is why I wanted something. Some people today told me they keep their stuff out. Some people put them away. I love my stuff out. I love my wooden utensils as well as my silicone. But what I'll do a lot is I keep stuff in crocks like this, or sometimes I'll just have it in the bag and I can just measure it out, just scoop it in there because it's nice and firm. Now let's say I'm making rice. I can just put it here, right? Then I can go, oh, I need a teaspoon. Let's grab another one. I need a teaspoon of salt for my rice. Mm-hmm. And for me, like I said, I'm usually just grabbing it right straight out of the crock here. And then one of the beautiful things about this is that it's also, I don't know which one to get this out of my way. And then I can just pour directly into that, and I don't have to worry about anything happening. I've got my cup measure. And I don't have my hands free. I don't have one of those sort of scientific looking Pyrex. I mean, not Pyrex, but you know what I'm talking about. They're kind of very excellent for the kitchen in the sense that they're glass and they have all of the measurements, but they're not the most handmade and choice of anything.
They're not handsome.
They're not. They're not handsome like you.
They're not. Oh, just stop. They're not handsome like these. Hey, yeah. What you are going to get, pardon my reach here, is you're getting your half cup or 1 cup measure. You're also getting your half teaspoon, quarter teaspoon measure, and your 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon measure. 1,300 of these are now gone, $19.98. Many of you have the acacia wood spurtle. Now you have the matching ones. If you follow Lucinda on Mad Hungry on Instagram, watch her in her Insta stories when she cooks. She is a master with the cell phone and the spurtle.
So,
because she takes you on this journey of recipes. And one thing that I love about watching, I always hear your music playing in the background.
I've always got music
Usually have
going.
like jazz or something on in the background.
Oh my goodness, you are listening.
Honey, I totally watch. And then she will go through and she'll use these measuring tools.
Yep.
And she'll grab this one and she doesn't say anything. She just gets what she needs. And she has these great shots of all of it. So here's your quarter teaspoon.
Yep. Just
Or
go
quarter,
ahead.
quarter
That's
teaspoon.
okay. So we have, just to reiterate, I wanted the 2 pieces to have a teaspoon and a tablespoon.
Right.
And a quarter teaspoon and a half a teaspoon, because this is what we use the most. But the other great thing is, and it's not just my one-handed filming, it's sometimes we're really, really busy. You want something that lays flat if you're gonna put that vanilla in there. You just want to be able to have your hand free. And then you lift it up and you can pour it on in there. Right?
Now 1,600 of these are now gone. Everybody is grabbing, oh, that vanilla smells great. So, you know what? I was interviewed recently and they said, what are the 3 things in your kitchen you always keep on hand? I said, good olive oil.
Oh yeah.
Good vanilla. The Madagascar bourbon vanilla.
Oh.
My fave. And I always keep red sauce. My favorite brand of red sauce, like marinara.
Yes, of course.
Because with pasta or anything, you can top pizza with it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's really fantastic. So those are things that I always tend to keep in my kitchen. A lot of other things I keep in my kitchen too. But this is K48107, and lots of you making this choice now. $19.98. 2,000 sets are now gone.
I'm just telling you that I have had so many people for months, because I had this in my house for a year using it. Now, how many times, I don't have a pan right here, but you know what, I'm gonna just bring back my rice, because it wouldn't be outside of reality for me to decide, because it is actually quite yummy, to put some olive oil inside the rice. How many times are you about to start cooking, right? And it says, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And you're just like, oh man, what is that? Now, sometimes we know it, and sometimes people really want to measure out. And then you can just measure it out, and then I'm not going to get that spoon or anything else. I am multifunctioning. If I'm already part of the way here, I am going to use this. And
Exactly.
that's one of the beautiful things about it. And the same thing with the full cup measure. And if you have it just right here, you'll just go and grab it. You'll grab it for your spices, you'll grab it for your salt, you'll grab it for, let's see, I think I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper in this.
And you know what? It just
lets you
feels
reach.
a little more homemade.
It does.
When you use these rustic little measuring spoons and tools, and I don't know, there's just something about the food that just takes on this very affectionate and homemade family feel.
And it's going to last, and you're going to be able to leave it to people in your family, because this biblical wood lasts forever.
Exactly. So as we wrap up on this, you and I are going to go talk about triple Bs.
The triple Bs are going to just be on fire.
Hey, but let me tell you how we started our show about 3 hours ago with Temptations. The 24-ounce